Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Gemini and Sagittarius on Wednesdays. Also, the deck that I'm using today is called the Tattoo Tarot. I'm going to go ahead and put those cards back. And as always, if you guys are interested in a personal reading, my information is in the description below. Let me just pick up those cards that fell really fast. All right. And just as a heads up, sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them, however, I usually don't take them unless they jump out, like these ones have. And usually if they jump out in groups that are too big, I'll go ahead and put them back. Also, my goal here is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards. And then we can get started on your reading. So we're looking at 3 more cards, and we can get started on your reading. I'm going to go ahead and take these 3 cards that fell out, put these ones back. And I do want to take this time, Gemini, to remind you guys that if you enjoy the reading, or if it resonates with you, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here is the 9 of Swords, which tells me that you guys are very stressed out. Earlier off camera, I was just kind of shuffling my deck to shuffle it, and the 9 of Swords came out then as well. So I feel like this is a really big energy and a really big deal for you guys right now. I feel like a lot of things are revolving around your stress levels. And I feel like a lot of stuff is going on right now, and as a result, that just adds to your stress, and it becomes kind of this cycle where you get stressed, and then as a result, other things happen or there's issues, and then that creates more stress for you, and then that creates more sort of problems down the line. And I feel like that's kind of an issue that you've been dealing with right now. So I think that the best thing for you to do right now is to kind of take a step back and try to relax as much as you can, because you have the 4 of Swords here. You also have the Queen of Wands. So that to me is a very powerful combination in the sense that you need to really take that step back with the 4 of Swords, rest, and really recuperate. Because I feel like you've been going nonstop, and that's just been adding to your stress even more. And I don't know if I ever explicitly said this, but the 9 of Swords is the card of staying up at night, not being able to sleep from your stress and worries. So the 4 of Swords is very much a complementary energy in the sense that it's the opposite. When we can't sleep and we're stressed out about something, the 4 of Swords comes up to remind us that it's time to rest. And I feel like with this Queen of Wands, you're going to become so much more powerful and so much more ready and motivated to take on the world once you do finally give yourself this little self-care. I think that you're dealing with a lot of different people, and that's why you have all these issues. Because I see the King of Swords, the Knave of Cups, and the Knave of Swords. And they're all in reverse, which leads me to believe that right now your communication with other people might not be the greatest. And I feel like that's part of the reason why this time is so difficult for you and why you're so stressed out. Because I feel like you as a Gemini are pretty much used to being able to communicate with people in a pretty effective way. And it's very interesting because the King of Swords represents air signs, right? So that includes Gemini, that includes Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So I feel like you may be dealing with some man here, and in particular someone who's older than you. I'm getting from this this King of Swords, but they're not emotionally or able to communicate in a way that is very mature. because whenever I see the face cards in reverse, I really get this sense of immaturity that comes from them. And whenever I see the King of Swords, I see somebody who's very condescending, who is very unwilling to sort of talk to you as an equal. They are very pompous, very condescending, even rude, emotionally immature, right? They're very sort of pseudo-intellectuals. And I feel like maybe even in the past, you were talking to this person and you could have developed a crush or something, because I see the Six of Cups. But now that it's in reverse, I feel like you're kind of realizing that this person, hey, maybe isn't the greatest person on the planet. I mean that sarcastically, of course. Like, this person is far from it. With the Knave of Cups and this Knave of Swords in reverse, like, that just kind of further compounds this. Like, the cups are emotional cards. These are emotional messages. So the fact that it's in reverse tells me that he's, I feel like, emotionally manipulating to a degree. Like, maybe it's not like toxic, but he's probably the kind of person, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a male. It'll just depend on your situation, but whoever this person is, I feel like tries to play the victim card a lot. It's like, oh, it would really mean a lot to me if you did this kind of a thing. And that's sort of the energy that he comes forward with. And the Knave of Swords is just more of what I said with the King of Swords, but even more immature, because the Knave is younger and far more inexperienced than a King, albeit with a lot less power. So I feel like this is kind of a person who, in particular, I'm getting somebody who is not emotional and who has almost like a disdain for emotions. It's almost like you're dealing with someone and you're like, wow, this thing happened to me and it kind of like ruined my day. And then this person tries to be sort of the fact machine and starts saying, oh, well, plenty of people have it worse. Oh, well, statistically, this many people die of malaria every year. And I feel like you're just kind of sick of it, because like, you're allowed to have feelings and you're allowed to emote and you're allowed to feel whatever you do. But this person here just isn't getting it, right? With these energies, like, they're just not getting it. And I feel like in part this may be a cycle that you are, like a pattern in your relationships. I feel like maybe in the past you've attracted a lot of people that are like this, a lot of people who are sort of like, who have the emotional depth of a swimming pool, I should say kiddie pool, right? So it's like, because this Six of Cups is in reverse, it sounds like to me that you're taking really, really big steps in the way of maturity. For a lot of you, I think that you've already matured a lot, and that's why you're able to recognize these things. But it feels like you're acting like a grown-up. You have your feet firmly planted on the ground, and you're realizing that a lot of these sort of qualities here are qualities that aren't going to lead anywhere, and that are just going to lead to heartache in the end. Because I feel like you've sort of been there and done that, and now you're able to spot it, and now you're saying, no, I'm going to break the cycle. And I see that because I see this Three of Swords, right? So the Three of Swords in the upright talks about heartbreak, heartache, emotional pain and devastation, right? But it's in reverse. So I feel like you've healed from the last time, and yeah, you've healed from the last time it's happened, and furthermore, you're now able to prevent it because you have this energy here of the Six of Cups in reverse, and you have this Queen of Wands. Like, you're very much entering this period where you're powerful, you're motivated, you're driven, you're able to take action and independent. Also, I do want to bring up that you have the Emperor card, which does stand for Aries. So much like this Queen of Wands, you have that Aries fire sign energy. So if you have that in your chart somewhere, just take that to be extra confirmation. But even if you don't, I feel like you're entering this Aries kind of, or rather this Emperor energy, right? You're entering this energy of the Emperor, who is the King of Kings. And I feel like you're, not only are you meeting that person on that same level, but you're not going to settle for less, right? The Emperor is half of the divine partnership in the tarot. You have the Emperor and the Empress, who are the highest level of relationship, right? And often people will say twin flame or soulmates or whatever, but I feel like you're not so much preoccupied with whatever the label is. I feel like you're preoccupied with making this change here and this huge step towards healing. Because once you sort of take this step back and heal a little bit more, you're going to be able to sort of break the cycle of getting these people that are not up to your standards, and you're going to find somebody who meets your standards and is this emperor. It's just a matter of you taking the action, which by looking at this Queen of Wands, you're certainly more than capable of doing it. But that was your reading first time around. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new videos for Gemini on Wednesdays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.